Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
Good evening and welcome back to Charlie Jordan Field here on the campus of Shiloh High School for this UPSL Georgia Premier Division action. It is Kalonji Pro Profile taking on Limeno, Georgia. Larry, we were here alongside Andre Bomar. And Andre, we already had an entertaining first match in this doubleheader. What can Kalonji Pro Profile and Limeno, Georgia provide us here tonight?
I think it could be more of the same. You got two teams, very contrasting styles. Limeno, very, very young. I think the youngest team in the division that's going up against probably one of the most experienced and professional teams in the division. But a lot of players missing for Kalonji, which could be a factor in the way that Limeno approaches this game. But it should be a good exciting match between the two. Kalonji having an opportunity to go top of the league if they win, and Limeno looking forward to trying to climb their way back up the league standings and find a good playoff spot.
You look at the leaderboard as it stands right now after the match we just provided you. North Georgia United currently in first place. Kalonji Pro Profile only 2 points away. Limeno, Georgia now in a three-way race with 9 points between Limeno, Georgia Revolution, Georgia Athletic, Potros FC with that win over UMA shoots them all the way up to third place. The draw with Dalton United sees them in fourth. So we have a lot of really, really tight spaces for these two teams just about to get underway. Limeno, Georgia is going to be the one that starts it off. They're in their yellow and blue kits moving from left to right. Kalonji Pro Profile in their typical white kits moving from right to left. And this is going to be a huge veteran Kalonji Pro Profile squad today, Dre.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a tall order for Limeno, one of the promoted teams, as we get underway here for Limeno as the visitors here going against Kalonji Pro Profile.
Two teams that do know each other. They were against each other quite a bit when Limeno, Georgia was a part of the Premier Division several seasons back. They've been down in Division I for a little bit. They're now back and completely retooled.
Yeah, it's a very different team, though, Limeno, than from a couple of years ago. This is a team born from a youth academy done by Coach Galdamez Mochilla, a veteran in the game, both in coaching and as a player.
Here comes Blake White trying to come through the defense. Couldn't get around 3 men. Tamimi gets a little bit of a touch on it, but not enough.
It's going to be a player to watch, Kareem Tamimi, playing down here on this near side, number 9 player.
He has the freedom to move around the pitch. Formerly of the Atlanta United 2 squad. He was previously with Kalonji Profile before making that switch to Atlanta United 2. Has been the Golden Boot winner here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division Conference. Still hasn't really found his way back in this squad, Dre.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a chopping and changing club, a team for Kalonji Pro Profile. Haven't really settled, but despite that, with a win today, it could go top of the league, which tells you the depth that Kalonji Pro Profile has.
Tamimi is well known around this area, so he usually brings a party when he receives the ball, so he's usually being defended by 2, sometimes even 3 players.
Yeah, another player is going to be Blake White, who's going to be looked at by the Limeno defenders. He's been very lively in attack for Kalonji Profile this season, quietly making his own mark in the team.
Another name to keep an eye on, number 7, Thierry Jules, used to be with Atlanta City. After they fell apart recently, he moves over here to Kalonji Pro Profile, finds a new home, and has found success so far.
Yeah, he's already getting a lot of instances where he's getting the ball in the back of the net. He's a prolific scorer at Atlanta City, and he brings something else for Kalonji Pro Profile. He's got a big frame there to number 7, Thierry Jules.
Keep an eye also in the midfield of Kalonji Pro Profile, number 55, Tony Tiente, also a former Atlanta United 2 man.
Yeah, just got done with coaching duties with SSL.
Offsides. He's pulling double duties this season. He's coaching the SSL team and he's playing for Kalonji Pro Profile.
Shows you the relationship those two teams have. Although they're rivals, they're born from the same academy.
It's going to be interesting to see that match late in the season when Kalonji and SSL meet here at Charlie Jordan Field.
It's always an entertaining Kalonji
Good ball
derby.
forward from Tamimi. Tries to slide it across to Jules, but he's not there.
Very, very close. It shows how quickly Kalonji Pro Profile can put an attack together. They run so quickly and with a lot of intensity down those channels.
Hilton almost got that pass right.
Of
course, as always,
careful.
One of the players that I can't wait to see back on the pitch for Kalonji Pro Profile, number 8, Patrick Kawanda, formerly the coach, captain of Seas United.
Yeah, he's been here since the beginning, since the merger of the UPSL and the Atlanta Caribbean League, if you can believe that. For those who've been around, they know what that means.
He's been working around in the semi-pro ranks throughout this Southeast region. It's good to see him back in the UPSL.
Yeah, he's also scored for them already this season.
Has played with a lot of these players on different teams as a part of Kalonji. That one's going to go over the top. Magalo has it. Again, thank you for joining us on this holiday weekend, finishing off this Easter Sunday with some UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. Tiente is going to be fouled.
And Limeno, Georgia, a team that's been very good this season. They're one of the promoted teams from Division I. They won the regular season title in Division I last season. And now they're in the playoff hunt so far this season in the top half of the Premier Division table.
So far they have 3 wins and 1 loss. The only loss that they have for the season is against Pachuca, Georgia. Kalonji per profile, 4 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah, the only team to be able to beat Kalonji in the past 2 seasons so far is Georgia Revolution. Limeno is a very, very young team, but a well-coached team.
Garaballo go back to Medina. Medina surveys the space. He's going to move it forward to Espada. He's going to be fouled by Povolotsky. Yeah, the times that I've seen Limeno, Georgia here in the Premier Division, they have looked really well, Dre.
Yeah, they're well organized. Lots of good young talent. This is a team that's going to be, have to be contended with. When we first saw them coming into the Premier, they were so young, you wondered if they'd be able to keep up. But they've answered that question with spades.
The only thing that I will say about this Limeno, Georgia team, they struggle to score goals. Here's a ball bouncing through. And there it is!
What'd you say about them?
Commentator's curse. That's what we love to say.
KSA fans, you have Larry Weaver to blame for that goal.
I got to make it a little
time that
bit
any
interesting.
better
Take a look at this again. And this one comes, it's a mistake by the defense. It's coming from center circle.
Oh, man, what a start for Limeno away from home.
And it bounces through. Kamani Irving doesn't get it right, and it just bounces off the post and into the back of the net for the 1-0 lead here in the 9th minute.
A defensive mistake leads to a Limeno breakthrough here.
But I was going to say, the reason why I was saying that was because we started to game, Limeno, Georgia had only scored 8 goals. Kalonji per profile has scored 27.
Yeah, I mean, it is, unevenness. You look at it on paper coming into this game, but boy, what a lightning start. But, with Kalonji giving up the goal, does this wake them up? Wait and see. Coming through the back.
Verify who that was.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a jumble in front of goal.
And that one's going to go out. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, that's the thing that Kalonji typically is going to be a team that's not going to be afraid of going down. They keep their composure. There's a lot of discipline. Very experienced team, like I said earlier before. Limeno in the catbird seat right now.
They win the ball back. Cleared away into Pavlotsky, but Hilton has it. Cuts it to Blake.
And
White not able to do it or roll out. It will be a corner, though.
critical block there at the last moment.
It's going to be a corner over there on the far side. Tamimi is over the ball.
Got a Limeno player still down a little bit. Back, he's getting up now. That's the delay. It's like he's going to stay on. It's going to be fine.
It'll be an outswinger from Tamimi. See if Kalonji Pro Profile get back into this match quickly. Into the box, headed straight by Hilton. Still in play. Espada deflects it off of Tamimi. Now, Limeno trying to attack. It's going to roll out. It's going to be a throw for Kalonji.
That's going to be something to keep an eye on, Larry. Those set pieces, particularly the corner kicks, that are so much of a height advantage from Kalonji Pro Profile over Limeno.
Kamani, that is going to be deflected out, and it's going to be a goal kick. Absolutely, you can see such a height advantage for Kalonji already.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Limeno deals with that. Marking is going to be very difficult.
Especially a player like Thierry Jules.
Yeah, Thierry Jules, I believe, 6'4", 6'5". Tall, lanky player, but strong, can hold off in possession of the ball. But right now, Limeno have that advantage.
Medina will get us back underway. Headed forward. Quickly sent forward to Tamimi. He's got to receive it. He's in the box. Trying to work around the defender, work around the second one. He hits it. Deflected off of the defender of the Espada. Try to quickly get it forward. Not going to get it past Sase. He gets it to Pavlotsky. Pavlotsky's going to get it forward to Hilton. Hilton's not going to get there in time. That's one of the things I'll say about Kalonji Pro Profile, Dre, is they're transitioning very quickly tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're a beast on the transition. Very, very quick. They turn defense into attack so effortlessly. It's hard to keep up with them, and so that's going to be a tall order for Limeno during the game. We'll see how they cope with it. It's a well-coached team. Like I said before, they've probably prepared for this.
That one headed forward. But Kamani Irving is going to get there. It's going to deflect off. It'll be a throw for Kalonji. No, it's going to be a throw for Limeno. Originally, the center official said Kalonji, but he was called off by the AR.
That's why as a team of referees work together.
Pavlotsky wins it, sends it forward. A little bit of a tug back, still has possession though. Tamimi over here to Jules. Jules takes a crack at it, but that's well over the bar. You know, you talk about that height advantage, Dre, but look at the height of Thierry Jules, and then look at Cisse, number 20, that's about 10 yards off of him. He's at least a foot and a half shorter.
Yeah, it's just a tall frame there. It's going to be a handful for the Limeno defenders. throughout this game. And that's going to be something to see with the quickness in their transition, the set pieces, what can they do, but they've already shown that they can get on the board. And like you say, I mean, we joked about it earlier, but the fact that Limeno have not been scoring as much during the season, you know, with this one goal, you know, what will they be able to do? Will they be able to hold off Kalonji and hold on to that lead, or will they be able to build on it? Football's a funny game. It can surprise you sometimes.
And you would look on paper and you look at this squad from Kalonji Pro Profile and you just say, oh, there's so much experience. They should be easily in control of this match, and they're currently down 1-0.
Yep, that's the thing about it. And Limeno's in the argument. They'll say, hey, we came here to play. We came here to win. You know, that leadership that starts from the coach can filter down to the players.
Good ball forward, trying to get it to Jules. He's able to. Jules trying to do a back flick to White. White stabbed at it, and it went out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Jules and company not afraid to take shots. That's for sure for Kalonji, which explains why they have the most goals in the division. They also have the stingiest defense. But they did drop points against the Georgia Revolution. Unfortunately, for North Georgia, they could not take full advantage of that, and they've dropped their own points in 2 draws.
And they still have a game in hand, does Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yep.
Pavlotsky sends that one forward. Tamimi has it, takes the shot. It's in the back of the net. Kareem Tamimi gets it equalized for Kalonji Pro Profile. 1-1.
Yeah, it was coming. You know, that's how long can you keep them out is the question, and it wasn't long. As Tamimi, who's going to be one of the attacking qualities for Kalonji, has come through now.
And you see here, such a fast transition. They receive the ball over the top in between the 2 defenders, and all Tamimi has to do is put it on frame, and it's in the back of the net for the 1-1 draw.
So how will Limeno answer here? Started out brightly.
We're back even, so we start all over. 18 minutes in. See if they can catch Kalonji Pro Profile nap it again like they did on that first goal.
Yeah, and that's why I wondered if that goal might have awakened Kalonji Pro Profile.
Good ball into the box, just enough of a head to clear that for Kalonji by Kamani Irving, because that was in a perfect spot. Marquez was right there, and it was a sensational ball into the box from Orta.
Yeah, that was a good ball in, just wasn't able to connect at the last moment. Good defending by Kalonji. Limeno hasn't given up. Here they are with the steal here.
Ball taken off of the Limeno man, commits the foul. Wedderburn wins that foul. Little slow there from Cisse. Tiente comes away with it. Orta goes down. I think he got a little bit of a
little clash there. He's come off the worst for wear. He's still down. He's getting up now.
Yeah, I think it just a random slap towards the face as Tiente and him were fighting for space.
Yeah, he's back in the action now.
A foul there from Espada. Tamimi and Wedderburn have been sharing passes. Hilton can't control it, goes out for a throw.
You notice with Kalonji, not very many players on the bench, which has been the thing this past few weekends.
Blake White with a sensational ball to Tamimi. He slides it across to Terry Jules, and there's the second for Kalonji profile. Just like that.
That man, Terry Jules, he can't stop scoring.
He knows how to find the back of the net, and just like that, you see how fast this team transitions. Blake White gets it to Tamimi. He slides it across perfectly to Jules. He's onside. It's in the back of the net for the 2-1 lead.
And just like that, Kalonji with the advantage now. It's a team that doesn't cut off. They have one speed, and it's just attack speed. Gonna get the whistle here. There we go.
Back underway.
And with a
foul
victory,
committed.
that's a foul. With a victory today, Kalonji will go top of the table.
You know they want to be back there.
And they also have a game in hand.
Again, today's matchup sponsored by Images Frozen in Time. Thank them for all their support, providing UPSL coverage here in the Georgia Conference. Ramirez is going to take this over to right into Magala's arms. It was a good ball over to the far post.
That was a good delivery in. Got the shot on target.
Was a decent header completed by Diouf. Unfortunately, Magala was right there. Another ball over the top.
Jules, a willing runner in the center there.
Hilton runs it down, works it around two men, but cleared away by Limeno. Cleared away yet again. That's the danger of this Kalonji profile team. Once they have confidence, they will express themselves in abundance. Grant Carr having to switch from his usual left back position into the left center back with a late substitution of Damfa. Forces Kamani Irving, instead of being in his typical left center back role, to be in the right center back role, which is where that goal came from. So Limeno exposing a little bit of a positional issue for Kalonji in that first goal. Terry Jules chests that down. Some good Tecker footing skills by Kalonji. They wanted a foul on Espada, not going to get it. And Carr misses that one and just goes right through Diouf.
Yeah, I think he knew what he was doing there. Stop that counter.
Grant Carr, the veteran, had an opportunity to play professionally over in Germany a few seasons back.
Your player's still down there.
I think it's best to do for the squad. Just sit down for a moment, let them all catch their breath.
Yeah, Limeno's been a willing runner. trying to close down, but boy, it's going to be a.
And Limeno started out well. They were really good on the attack, and then in a matter of minutes, Kalonji equalized and then took the lead.
They're not going to give up, though.
Acrobatic clearance from Tiente. Jules trying to fight that one, not going to get it. Foul going to be committed on Kamani.
Ref gives a warning. That's the last time before cards start coming out.
Be early in the match for some cards to start coming out, as we're only 26 minutes in. Like you said, these two teams have played against each other several times throughout the years.
Always an exciting match to see these two face up against each other.
Kalonji is a bit of the Goliath of this UPSL Georgia Conference. Everyone always looking to take them down if possible.
They've represented the Georgia Conference for the last 2 seasons.
The kryptonite of Soda City, winning the national title twice in a row. And they can say that both of those times that they won the title, it started from a win over Kalonji Pro Profile.
Yeah, a tight call there. Limeno player feels like maybe that was a good shoulder challenge. The referee disagrees. So it'll be a free kick for Kalonji Pro Profile.
You see the referees for today. Frank Peacock is our center official tonight. You see his AR1, AR2, and fourth official there on screen. Thank our referees for all their hard work here in the UPSL. Tiente's over this ball. Kamani Irving standing there with him. He starts to step away. It's going to be Tiente. Right on frame, just to the left.
Just a bit outside there.
Long live Mr. Euchre.
I might be too old for some of the listeners out there.
Yeah, I think that both of us. Back underway here in the 28th minute. Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School. Kalonji Pro Profile with a 2-1 lead over Limeno, Georgia. Week 8 of the UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division. 16 weeks in total. A couple extra weeks there for makeups and reschedules if necessary.
Yep. 13 games a season for all the Premier.
Division 1 is currently underway as well. There was only 2 matches in Division 1 this weekend. One in the north, one in the south.
Yeah, a little bit light due to the holiday weekend.
20 teams down there in Division 1. That's why it's separated between the north and the south. Controlled by Kalonji. Good win there by Limeno, looking to transition quickly. And Kamani Irving just able to get a touch. Send that back to Magala. David gives it over to Grant Carr.
Limeno doing a really good job being active in defense and challenging every ball.
And knowing when to press and when to stay in that defensive shell.
Making Kalonji work for everything that they're trying to get done here.
Tamimi
threads
it through.
He's on.
Jules! Oh, he just tugs that wide.
Just couldn't get his foot wrapped around it quite good enough. But boy, does Jules have a nose for goal. He just really goes for it. Anytime he's close by, he's going to take a shot.
You know, he was on that Atlanta City team that pulled off the unbelievable, won the playoffs, got to represent the Georgia Conference in the national tournament.
A team with a lot of promise that just fell away.
You know, he won that final and then proposed to his now wife.
Yeah, what a story that was.
Trying to work down the corner, be knocked out, to be a throw. And it was in that season that Atlanta City fell in the first round to St. Louis City SC. That was before all of the MLS academies left the UPSL.
Yeah, there's reorganized MLS, a lot of the MLS academies. There's still a few in the UPSL, but
most of them have moved over to the MLS Next system.
Self-contained.
Yeah.
Most other teams in the UPSL were able to deal and match the MLS teams, the academies there.
No MLS academy ever won a UPSL national trophy in the years that they were a part of the UPSL. That's down in the box. That's going to be a penalty.
No doubt about it.
Tamimi winning the penalty for Kalonji Pro Profile.
It's an ill-advised challenge there.
You take a look at it. Tamimi, he gets around the first defender. He's working against Espada, and it's Espada that takes him down.
He's going away from the goal a little bit. He doesn't have to dive in, but he tackled him from behind. That was always going to be a danger.
It's going to be Tamimi.
Saved!
Oh, saved! What a save there for Limeno, Georgia. Medina.
Clutch save. Not the best of spot kicks taken.
Yeah, I was going to say that spot take was taken very softly from Tamimi.
Oh, what a break for Limeno.
One time! Oh, that's how you do the transition!
Right back down the other side.
What a goal for Limeno, Georgia!
Oh my gosh, what a story. Right back down this side. Nice shot. Great finish. Right after Tamimi with that poorly taken penalty kick that was saved.
It comes over here to the near side. He crosses to the far side, and he one-times it back of the net, off of the post. What a goal for Limeno, Georgia. 2-2.
Limeno making noise now. 2-2. Who would have thunk it?
Absolutely unbelievable. If you were not entertained, you are now.
So now both teams have come back from deficits. Sets up to be a very interesting rest of the match here.
We are just a few days away from seeing the ASMG goals of the month. And that, my friends, has to be one.
Oh, that's going to be on the highlight show for sure. Such a beautiful finish, too.
Kamani Irving cuts it back, sends it.
Woo! Hot,
a good
but
shot.
handled.
Medina there to cut it off. And that all comes from that save from Medina. Tamimi not being able to convert the penalty. No foul, but an advantage is going to be played.
Yeah. Limeno, good passing. Ooh. Finding a little space. Can he get it?
Able to keep it in. A Cross headed. Oh my gosh! What a sensational goal from Limeno, Georgia.
Oh my gosh. They are back in front. Limeno, tenacious with a closing down in defense, coming forward and attacking, just lethal.
Watch the replay here. This ball in the corner, picked up by Monroe. Monroe sends it into the box. One time headed right off the post again and into the back of the net. Nothing that Magala could do. It is now 3-2.
We are in uncharted territory here. I don't think I've ever seen a Kalonji team lose 3 goals in a half.
And 2 goals in 2 minutes.
Now, what will Kalonji do? How will they answer? They're not going to panic. This is a team that can come back from just about anything. They've demonstrated, but Limeno have shown, hey, we're here to play, and we're here to win.
Tamimi receives it. He hits it, pulls it wide.
Wow. What a game. 36th minute. Limeno leading, scoring 3 in the first half against Kalonji to 2.
Scored in the 8th minute, the 33rd minute, and the 35th.
Game has just about everything, a saved penalty. Will that be the game? Would that be the incident that really turned this game? 2 quick goals right after from Limeno.
Kamani wins it but loses it.
Here they come again.
Cisse gives it back to Magala. He had to work out of a very tight space as he was being
I think
pressed.
it took his eye off the ball there for a second.
Pavlotsky wins it. Forward through center circle, over to Tamimi on the near side. Tamimi tried to cut that back in the mid, not able to get it to Hilton. Go out, it'll be a throw.
Limeno really trying to boss the game here.
And all of those 2 goals come from a mistake by Kalonji Pro Profile on a penalty. Tamimi not converting.
Yeah, I think he would even admit that was a poor attempt in the spot kick, but saved expertly, and then right down the other side to score.
Tamimi looking for space, gives it to Jules, and one times
nice
it back
pass.
to Tamimi, and he's
That's
going
gonna
to
be a foul
throw
against him,
down
yeah.
Espada,
behind.
who was right where he needed to be there. He saw what was coming and just stepped in front of Tamimi.
Well, you did ask me before the game, what did I think? Will we have another exciting game? I think we have the answer.
And we're only 38 minutes gone. We still got a long ways to go.
Yeah, a lot of football to play. Lots can happen.
Bouncing through. Magala has it.
He found himself some space on that far side in the box there. Couldn't get a good shot off, though.
And the crazy thing is, if Limeno, Georgia can find another goal in this match, they will have halved their season total, as they only had 8 goals coming into this match.
Where has this attacking team been all season for Limeno?
Tiente.
And
Gives
there were
it to
some
Pavlotsky.
bangers as well.
That pass, not the best. Wake White was there trying to win it. Pavlotsky wins it. Gives it to White. White loses it. This Limeno team is just pressuring
all
so
over
well.
Kalonji.
It's that young energy out there.
Hey, that's the blessing of youth. Have all that energy. And they do have a pro coaching staff as well. Limeno does.
Trying to get it over the top to Jules. Espada was right there to win it. Espada's really doing the yeoman's work back there in defense right now, ever giving up that penalty. Tamimi loses it, still pressuring. He's going to earn the foul, and wasn't sure if he was going to get a card for that.
Yeah, I was looking to see if he goes to his pocket. He's just going to talk to him.
That's the last one.
Yeah, he gave that little signal, hey, that's it, no more.
41 minutes we are in.
That's the thing I'm
Limeno,
discovering.
Georgia 3, Kalonji Pro Profile 2.
That is not a mistake. That is the actual score.
That ball bouncing through. Diouf comes over here to the near side. Monroy trying to work around Cisse. That one's going to be knocked out, be a goal kick.
Yeah, it's come off of the Limeno player. I don't know what he was arguing that it came off the defender, but didn't look like it from here.
Yeah, it came right off of him as Cisse was battling with him in that corner. Tiente to Mimi. Nice long ball, trying to get it up there to Hilton. Bounces through to Tiente. Received by White. To Mimi now. Jules to Mimi.
Wow,
And
this
Diouf.
defense is strong for Limeno.
Diouf battling there with Tamimi.
If Kalonji's going to get back into this and try to get something back, they're going to have to work for it. It's not going to be gifted.
And it's the one thing to note, this is not something that Kalonji Pro Profile have in their arsenal like Dalton United. They don't have that long throw. Jules gets around two men, around three. He goes down, and another penalty is called.
Probably couldn't help it. Jules was going to get free in that box, and there's going to be a tap in. And unfortunately, Limeno could do nothing but bring him down. So here's another opportunity. The question is, who's going to take it?
He works around the two, works around the third, and just gets a little bit of a shove down. And Thierry Jules, as a striker, knows all he needs to do is feel that contact and go down.
Grant Carr this time.
Grant Carr is going to do the honors this time.
Grant Carr, pro.
And he just hits it with force right past Medina.
Real simple, straight in. We're all tied up again.
Just like that, 3-3 here at Charlie Jordan Field, campus of Shiloh High School.
Has gotten the pro profile support a little noisy.
We have a good crowd out here for Easter weekend, for Easter Sunday evening.
Goals galore so far.
We're 44 minutes in. We'll see what kind of stoppage time we're going to see this first half. Monroy with another ball forward. Now, Tamimi trying to control it, gives it to Tiente. Tiente to Jules, back to Tamimi. He's going to be fouled, but is going. Now that's interesting.
I think it was a foul. I thought, though, that the Limeno player fouled first.
Yes, I thought the same thing. I thought the Limeno player fouled Tamimi before Tamimi did the same.
Right, yeah. Tamimi kind of retaliated. That's where I thought there was a foul, and then he clipped him going the other way. I think I think he might have missed that one. Had his hands on him up high.
Back underway. 3 minutes of stoppage time is what we're going to have this first half.
I wouldn't be against either one of these teams scoring in the next 3 minutes. I mean, to be fair, that incident with the hands high, the back of the player was to the referee. May not have seen it cleanly.
Indeed, he may not have seen that cleanly.
No harm, no foul. Kalonji has the ball back now, so immaterial.
Mistake there. Now on the attack, Pavlotsky, Grant. Magala picks it up.
Yeah, Larry, what kind of second half are we going to have after this one?
Well, it seems like this Limeno, Georgia team got all the sugar that they could want throughout the afternoon because they have just been running from end to end.
They have not stopped either. They have the same energy they did when the ball was kicked off. Can somebody get a goal before the half? There's time.
That ball finds its way through. Back to Irving. Over here to Cisse. Has space down here on the nearest line. Tiente holds up. Gives it back to Grant Carr. Pavlotsky. Now Limeno starting to press. Pavlotsky. Wiederburn. Forward. Hilton. That's a good ball forward. Still in play. Jules slides it across to Tamimi. Jules again. Oh, it's out.
Whiffs it. Couldn't connect. It's going to be a goal kick.
And Jules kind of tweaked himself a little bit there. You see him kind of limping.
Jules arguing that it came off the Limeno player, but referee disagrees. It's going to be a goal kick for Limeno. Just about to play two of the minimum three over the top there.
Grant winning the ball for Kalonji. Pavlotsky through center circle, giving it to Tiente. Over to Tamimi. Tamimi's got a lot of space to work. Cross the box. One time from Tiente. Oh my, what a goal for Tony Tiente. Right at the half.
What a goal to get, and what timing for the goal as Kalonji go back in front. Tamimi, like you said, had a lot of space on that left side, was able to pick out Tiente in the middle.
This ball perfectly given to Tamimi, wide open in space, cuts it across one time by Tiente into the back of the goal. Absolutely nothing Medina could do. It is now 4-3.
And that's probably going to be the last action before the halftime whistle blows. We'll see. Very unfortunate for Limeno to give that up right on the stroke of halftime.
And indeed, right as you called it, Dre.
Couldn't hold on, but still just a one-goal game. Kalonji have given up 3 goals to Limeno in this first half.
Well, are you not entertained?
My goodness.
What a sensational 45 minutes that we just witnessed here at Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School. We need to take a break, get a drink. Everybody at home, get yourself a beverage and a snack and get ready for the second 45, because if it's anything like the first 45, there's goals left to be given. We'll be back here to bring you the second half here on ASMG TV in just a few minutes. It ends at halftime. Kalonji Pro Profile 4, Limeno, Georgia 3. Don't go away. We'll be back in a few minutes. And welcome back to Charlie Jordan Field here on the campus of Shiloh Stadium for what has been a sensational, entertaining match here for the UPSL Georgia Premier Division Conference. It is Kalonji Pro Profile 4, Limeno Georgia 3. Larry, we were here alongside Andre Bomar, presented by Images Frozen in Time. And Dre, if you were not entertained for that first 45, I think you need to have your pulse checked.
Yeah, I think it's just a surprise of what Limeno was able to do in this first half. They were able to get ahead on two different occasions here against Kalonji, and that's unheard of at this facility against this team. Very young team for Limeno, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments both teams make, because we had a glut of goals in the first half, so what's going to happen in the second?
And it's going to be Kalonji Pro Profile are going to get us started in the second half. They're in the white kits, moving from left to right. Limeno Georgia in the yellow and blue kits, moving from right to left. And we are underway here for the second half. Can Kalonji Pro Profile maintain this lead and see themselves into first place? Or can Limeno Georgia break their hearts just like Georgia Revolution did?
Yeah, Limeno in the first half, a lot of energy, closing down quickly in defense and in offense. Made a difference.
Terry Jules wins it. Shot taken, saved there by Benita.
On target. Right away, you see the intent from Kalonji. They're going to attack. Jules ever is hungry, a willing runner up front.
There's a good ball forward for Limeno. Kamani trying to get that ball back to Magala, just able to do so. David Magala just sitting 1 yard inside his box. Through the midfield, Kalonji per profile, Pavlotsky, Blake White, over here to Hilton, deflected off of the Limeno man. It'll go out for a throw. Working in those tight spaces. Limeno clears it. Kamani gives it to Pavlotsky. Works around the man. And that one's going to be deflected, but still in control. It's going to go out. It'll be a throw for Kalonji. Going through those goals in the first half, it was Panagos, number 66, who scored in the 8th and the 35th minute for Limeno, Georgia. Orta, number 9, scored in the 32nd minute.
Oh, nice move in.
Here's an opportunity. Pavlotsky turns. Deflected.
Oh,
just not able to get that last little bit save.
Heavy touch there, gives it back to Kalonji.
All 4 of Kalonji's goals coming from other individuals. Tamimi getting it started in the 17th, Terry Jules in the 20th, Grant Carr in the 43rd on that second penalty, and Tiente getting it in the 48th minute right before halftime. Have to remember that Kareem Tamimi missed the first attempt of the penalty, which led to that second goal by Orta in the 32nd minute.
And so far, easily the game of the weekend. Been some great ones.
This is the kind of coverage that you're only going to find here on ASMG TV. Bringing you all the coverage here for Kalonji per profile for their home matches. And that is only provided by our sponsor, Images Frozen in Time.
Limeno is closing down, a little bit of man marking. Keeping tabs on Kalonji, trying to force them back.
The weather's starting to go down a little bit now that the sun is set. 75 degrees right now. The wind has died down significantly. Working out of the space is Limeno.
Oh, a little flick on.
Not able to get that flick, stay in bounds. Out for a throw for Kalonji.
I don't think anybody could have foretold what have you seen so far in this match.
I would say all the stats, when you look at the match, the throws, the fouls, the corners, they're pretty much even between these two teams.
I mean, it's clear Limeno came here to win, and he came here to try to win this game.
And they have quite a bit of a bench compared to Kalonji per profile. No handball there, as that ball was in a natural position.
Forced a mistake there. That closing down that Limeno is doing is very effective. Oh,
Hilton wins the ball off of a spot. I mean, excuse me, Diouf, but Diouf is gonna commit the foul.
Yeah, I think that's the correct call. He was pushing off first. He did have somebody tote on him, but he committed the foul first.
This is going to be about 42 yards out. You would expect that Tony Tiente is just going to lift this ball into the box. Instead, he just gives it to Pavlotsky.
Try to catch Limeno out.
Here comes the ball into the box. Tamimi's going to get it.
Oh, nice touch.
Keeps it in. He has that silky touch around the first defender.
Move.
Still in, and there's in the back of the net. That's all done by the relentless attack of Kareem Tamimi.
And Thierry Jules was able to tap that in, but you're right. Tamimi did all the work there first with that great trap, getting around the defender, and was able to get that ball up in the air, and then Thierry Jules was able to just tap that in.
He runs this ball down in the corner, works around the first man, fighting off the second man, gets it back from the challenge and allows Thierry Jules to slot that in for the 5th goal. Wow. We said, are you going to be entertained? Absolutely.
I don't think we've seen the end of scoring from either side here.
That gives Thierry Jules a brace, as that one is in the 53rd minute. Be a throw for Limeno. That ball made it all the way over by the side.
Yeah, after this weekend, we're going to take another look at the Golden Boot race.
Absolutely, because Kalonji per profile are trying to make their way up that numbers. Kareem came into this match with 4. Thierry Jules had 5.
Looks like we've had a Limeno substitution.
So that's going to give Thierry Jules in the top 5 of the Golden Boot race. Currently, Emmanuel Lahm at the top of the table with 9 before we started this season, this weekend. Cut off by Limeno, but a foul committed in the midfield. Tiente, silky pass to Blake White. White pass to Wedderburn. Wedderburn went down, and a foul is going to be committed on Wedderburn. This is in a dangerous position for Kalonji, because this one is about 23, 24 yards out. It's about, I would say, about 4 or 5 yards off of the touchline. We'll see if Grant Carr is just going to lob this in probably to the back post. Two-man wall.
This is where that size difference can come into play for Kalonji.
And Terry Jules, can he get the hat trick? Here comes the left foot. Headed away. Kamani Irving. He takes a long shot, but that one's wide. Clock is starting to tick away for Limeno, Georgia. They're now find themselves down by 2. 57th minute here at Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh Stadium. Larry Weaver and Andre Bomar bringing you all the action for UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, taking a deflection on its way out.
Blake White, outswinger, bouncing through. Kamani Irving's going to get there. Or excuse me, that was Cisse who got there. Blake White again, through!
Oh!
My, what a goal! Absolutely sensational from Tony Tiente. He is back.
What a touch. And there he goes with a little cheekiness there. But boy, he's done it.
We will neither condone or approve that. Take a look at this ball. Cisse runs this down, makes the turn. Blake White across, and Tiente just laces that to the far post.
Oh, what a touch.
And it's 6-3. In the 58th minute, Tony Tiente this game started out with a goal from Limeno, Georgia in the 8th minute. And then they come back and score 2 goals in the 32nd and 35th minute, and we're looking to stun Kalonji Profile. Instead, it appears they woke them up, Dre.
Yeah, really, Kalonji has come out gangbusters in the second half, and it was something to be expected. Like I said earlier, they have one speed, and that's attack. But
Good
Limeno,
movement through the midfield. This ball's forward. David Magala has to get there, and does.
Limeno will be interesting to see if they keep that high energy closing down that they've been doing. See if they can get a goal back to get back in it, but Kalonji is stretching the lead here.
Here's an opportunity for Limeno. Win the challenge, but that pass not right. Pavlotsky cuts it off, gives it to Hilton. Hilton keeps it. Fighting off Orta. Luis wins that. But Kalonji still have it. Tony Tiente. Terry Jules gives it back to him, but it's behind Tiente. Wedderburn wins that one. Jules goes up high. Blake White. Hilton can't get around the defender.
Transition, Limeno trying to break the other way. Kalonji able to deal with that counter that time. Limeno staying with the high energy closing down.
Just taken off of Limeno. Kamani Irving having to hold off the attack. Good pressure by this young Limeno squad. Hilton to Mimi. Jules receives it. He's in space. Jules, what a save from Medina. He had to get that one right. Otherwise, Jules would have had his hat trick.
Got down expertly there. They're able to quell that and stop that shot.
Foul
That's
going to
gonna
be
be a
committed
foul.
there by Hilton.
End-to-end stuff here.
Gutierrez feeling that one. Nicholas having to work hard. This has been one heck of a presentation tonight. All of these players have been playing just absolutely perfect football for everyone watching at home.
Yeah, Kalonji trying to get back in pole position in the division. A win today will put them back in first place. Kalonji trying to improve their playoff position, which is quite a story for them. They're a promoted team. They played in Division I last season. They won Division I regular season. Coming in now, they look favorites to secure a playoff place.
And they had to play down in Division I for a couple seasons, 3 or 4 seasons. And it was a really necessary thing, Dre. I think that time down in Division I has really built this Limeno team in a very strong squad that could find themselves really deep in the playoffs here this spring.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they have a very deep and strong academy, and you see the product of that here.
And really the only thing that they have left is to find that striker, that goal striker. Because they have the defense, they have the transition, they have the pace and the pressure. They just need that striker that just has the nose for the goal, like a Terry Jules.
Yeah, a good playmaker behind him, a finisher up top. I think that would make Limeno complete.
This ball going all the way through the goal. Magala will control it, give it to Grant Carr. Like I said, this Kalonji profile backline a little different than what they're normally used to. That ball, great touch by Jules, holds off the attack from Gutierrez. That'll be a throw for Limeno. Tiente receives. Great ball over here to Wedderburn. Wedderburn cuts past one man, but he's not going to be able to get past the second. Will be a throw. 65 minutes we start. Kalonji profile 6. Limeno, Georgia 3. UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division Week 8. We're halfway through, and we are giving you a blockbuster tonight on this Easter Sunday. Be a throw for Limeno. Villa Gomez goes to Diouf. Good control there by Gutierrez. Trying to work around the defense of Cisse, but Grant Carr is there to cut it off. Foul committed by Limeno. Hilton. There's a beautiful ball forward. But Blake White is not going to be able to get past the two defenders. Now Jules is starting to pressure Limeno. Not completely controlled there by Irving. Allows Limeno to control it. It's amazing to think here, Dre. Kalonji is doing this with basically 11 men.
Yeah, they have a very light bench today. Limeno trying to close down there. But they've been effective. Again, like I say, that experience makes a lot of difference.
You expect to see some serious substitutions coming soon. Here's a chance.
Ball
Got
loose in
past
front of
Magala,
goal.
but not able to get past the defense.
Half chance for Limeno. They're still in possession, though. And a wayward shot there. Limeno's still alive. To get back into this game, though, they're going to need a goal soon. And they still have the chore of trying to keep Kalonji from scoring anymore.
You would expect in the next 3-4 minutes, you'll probably see some wholesale changes from Limeno.
Yeah, bring on some fresh legs.
Tamimi trying to fight off the challenge. Not able to do so. Oh, there's a turn into foul by Pavlotsky right at center circle.
Got that challenge wrong, got his legs tangled in. Quickly taken, but it's too far up. We're going to make him take it again.
Back underway. Kalonji working through the passing of the squad. Wedderburn, he goes back to Irving.
Both of these teams move the ball so well. It's wonderful to watch.
Pavlotsky now goes back to Carr. All the way over here on the switch to Wedderburn. He'll go back to Pavlotsky. And right now, Dre, Kalonji Pro Profile don't need to attack. They're up by 3. It's all in Limeno's squad to have to pressure to try to get this game closer to what it is right now.
Yeah, it's a possession game for Kalonji right now. Hold on to the ball. Limeno can't do any harm to them. But I think you're right. I think that's where the substitutes are going to come in handy for Limeno. They need to get those fresh legs out there to continue this high-energy press. It's a tall order, but it can be done.
It's kind of what we saw in that first match. When you saw late in the match, Dalton United was defending with 7 men.
And a beauty from Cheek Som. Gave SSL the draw in our first match of the doubleheader.
Tony Tiente works through 2 men to Jules. Tamimi not able to get that to Jules. He jumps out of that challenge. That's going to be a foul down by Kamani Irving.
I think he's fortunate not to get a card for that. I think that was pretty deliberate.
I would agree with that. And it's right in the center circle. Back underway is Limeno. Limeno have 2 players up for subs on the next stoppage.
He's got men in the middle.
Deflected. They get it back, though.
Limeno just will just run and run and run.
That pass
tried to
just
dummy.
off the mark. but they pressure, force it down here to Wedderburn. Hilton and Wedderburn, they trade passes back to Kamani. And look at the pace.
God, look at the running on this kid.
Orta just not giving up. Luis Orta. And he's right there with Jules.
Oh, he had his Wheaties today. Limeno faithful liking to see that hustle.
To be young and have that kind of energy. Oh, and there's a chop down of Tiente, and it's going to be a card.
Yeah, not a bad foul to give.
And that comes from Luis Orta in the 72nd minute.
Kind of a message given.
2 substitutes for
That's
Limeno.
one of those. It's one of those we're not going to be intimidated kind of fouls.
Panagos, the brace score is going to be off. Villa Gomez is coming off as well.
Yeah, they want to keep this high energy up. They got to score first if they want anything out of this game.
Mawuko is coming on, number 13.
And we're back.
As well as number 18, Leon. Jules, Tiente.
Tell you what, Limeno is just all over the place.
Hilton wins that back. Pavlotsky, he goes down right at midline from Diouf. Diouf is lucky that he didn't get a card for that one, too.
Yeah, but it just shows Limeno, they're going to continue to go toe-to-toe with Kalonji. They have nothing to lose here.
Ball over the top. Tamimi is there. That one just hit.
Got
Didn't
underneath.
have anything under that ball.
Good crowd here. Snellville. Shiloh Stadium.
This will find Kalonji Pro Profile moving into first place over North Georgia United. Limeno, Georgia currently in 5th with a 3-way tie, 9 points with Georgia Revolution and Georgia Athletic.
Now, how do those 2 draws by North Georgia look now?
And like you said, Kalonji still has a game in hand. As a couple teams do, due to Mother Nature messing with our schedule.
That's the ace in the hole for Kalonji.
That ball makes it through to Magala. His second half has been a little less eventful.
Still high energy, though.
That one going all the way back to Grant Carr. Wedderburn. Tiente loses it. But Limeno, they've got to go all the way back to the defensive line to reset. 75th minute. Kalonji Pro Profile 5, Limeno, Georgia 3. Or excuse me, Kalonji Pro Profile 6.
Lose track, a lot of goals today.
Trying to take one away from Tony Tiente, which was a sensational goal. Tamimi is called for the foul.
Yeah, it is interesting, too, because now that the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, the whole goal difference, element here is not as important, but it is still a factor because after a head-to-head, it is still goal difference that's part of the tie-breaking system. So you still want to try, if you're Limeno, you still want to try to get a goal or two, even if you know you're going to lose.
Foul going to be committed there.
Because remember, this can help determine your playoff positions. top 8 make the playoffs. The top 4 get home field advantage. So you want to finish as high as possible if you're going for a playoff place.
Yeah, we could end up here in about 8 weeks with some hard work by the statisticians to set this playoff rounds with so many matches, draws, head-to-heads.
And it is tight from top to bottom. Here we go.
Bouncing through. Kalonji, Hilton, trying to hold off Diouf.
Try to go into the corner there.
Just kill the seconds off. There's still 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
It's going to be a corner for Limeno. I think this is their first corner of the match. If I remember, I can't remember if Limeno's had a corner.
That's a good question. I can't remember. So much action, it's hard to remember who had what.
It's going to be an in-swinger. It bounces through. Tries to one-time it!
Oh, good save.
Gala had to get up and over to push that one out.
Oh, it's going off. They're saying
it's going
it
to be
went off
considered
the
they're
crossbar.
Call that a goal kick because it hit the crossbar.
Yeah, I thought he got a hand on it, but I guess he missed it. But just inches away from another opportunity there.
We'll see if we see it.
Boy, yeah, it's so quick. It looks. I mean, you look at it on the replay. It's close.
Yeah, that's pretty darn close. I could see that going both ways.
Well, the
If it was
referees are
either
right there
corner
on the
or-
field. They can see it.
Yeah. We will always refer to the center official.
Oh, yeah.
We are a few feet away up here in the press box.
All of our calls are 100% right.
Throw for Kalonji. 79th minute, we are rolling through. Limeno down by 3.
Try to do that Dalton thing.
Knocked out, it'll be a throw for Limeno. Able to get past the 2 Kalonji men. Holds it up.
Need a little help there.
Fairs has to go back.
Smart move.
Ooh, that was a good little touch there by Thierry Jules.
Yeah, Jules is going to be a key player for Kalonji this season, I believe, going into the playoffs.
I have to say, this is probably the most all-around solid roster for Kalonji Pro Profile in the last few seasons. And we're not even thinking about players like Junior Sandoval.
Yeah, Kalen Kalonji, a lot of the younger players.
Yeah, Daniel Tomasi. They've been on other duties these last few weeks.
Yeah, a lot of them with the MLS Next competition.
Going to go back to
Oh,
Medina. and
silky
he is-
smooth there.
He's got to hold off Hilton because he was pressing hard.
That took courage. I tried to get to the back heel there. He didn't quite go off for him. But they're
And
able
a
to get
foul
it.
by Grant Carr. But this is just the Kalonji MO. They're not going to start. Carr's going to earn a yellow card for that in the 81st minute. They're up by 3, but they're not stopping.
Well, Limeno's not going to let them stop because they're still attacking. They're trying to get forward. Less than 10 minutes of regular time.
Kalonji came into this match with the best goal differential at plus 20. Limeno were plus 5. And center official is going to ask him to get up.
Yeah, he felt some contact and just went down. And tried to con the referee there, and the referee wasn't having any of it.
But that's one of the things they teach strikers these days. As soon as you feel a touch in the box, go down.
Yep. Good enough acting. He didn't get a simulation, though. Jules trying to...
Medina had to get that one right because Jules
still hungry. Got a cramp in the middle of the field here.
Yeah, Diouf has been working all over the pitch tonight. I can understand. I can't believe there's more Limeno players that are cramping up.
Yeah, he went down on that approach there. He might have to come off. So once you start getting those cramps, it's hard to keep that high energy up. Game played in a very good spirit here.
Ball's going to be dropped to Limeno.
Kalonji with those 3 goals early in the second half has really done a number on Limeno. Limeno haven't been able to match them in the second half.
Tamimi forcing that ball forward with Jules. He gets that ball too far behind Tiente.
Oh, nice little flick on. Oh, good move inside.
Tamimi trying to cut it to Hilton. Hilton just pulls that one wide.
It's going to be a corner.
Got to run that ball down.
A lot of extra space out here. No ball boys, unfortunately. Speed things up for everybody.
It's going to be Kareem Tamimi that'll take this. It'll be an outswinger. Jerry Jules got up, but didn't time that just right. He was about 2 feet above everybody.
Got up a little too early for that one.
Kamani's still with it. Lays it off.
Done well.
Wedderburn. Can't keep his feet.
Oh, still got it,
Still
though.
able to hit it. And that one will be deflected off. I think we'll have another corner. Indeed, we will.
Desperate defending from Limeno.
85th minute. Be another outswinger from Tamimi. The last one was almost perfect.
See where Jules is.
This one in the middle.
Ooh.
And that one up and over and out for a goal kick.
He tried to hook that in from behind there and then looped it over the goal. Gives Limeno a little bit of a break. So right now, Limeno are going to be looking for a consolation goal, do something with the goal difference part of any type of tiebreaker.
We'll start looking forward to next weekend, as Limeno will be home to Georgia Athletic.
Tried to get in there, runs it all the way out. It's going to be a goal kick.
Kalonji will be on the road to Pachuca, Georgia.
Pachuca, the other promoted team. They won the Division I playoff against this Limeno team.
And got that 1-1 draw with North Georgia this weekend.
Another team you can't take lightly.
To go on top to the 1-1 draw they had last weekend with UMA. So they slowly have been building some momentum.
Yeah, that was a good result against North Georgia.
Pavlotsky. Tiente, White, Hilton. Tiente didn't get that pass. Hilton coming back, knocking that out. It'll be a throw for Limeno. Gutierrez all over the place.
I tell you what, Limeno have moved the ball really well all game long. Long range shot there.
That one was always off the mark.
In a way, this is a good preparation for them for the playoffs as they move further into this season. Nothing's guaranteed yet.
It's a very good chance they could find themselves back against Kalonji in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be a juicy remake, or rematch rather. Tell another game to look forward to that we're going to be broadcasting will be Kalonji against North Georgia.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty much who is going to win the regular season title, because right now it's pretty much a two-man race until confirmed by somebody else. Because
Yeah,
right now they have pulled away from everybody.
Yeah, I think the drop points from Georgia Revolution and today Dalton kind of rules them almost out of the division title race. So it is down to Kalonji and North Georgia.
Potros and Dalton, they both are sitting on 11 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's
not that far out.
That's the funny thing. Like Potros, you know, the season that they won the division, it was the same quiet move up the table that they're doing right now. So mathematically, there's still a few teams that can do it, but they're going to need some help.
So you're saying there's a chance. That one just hit off a frame, and that one's going to roll
in the 90th.
Make its way towards Scenic Highway.
See what the fourth official puts up on the board here in a moment.
1 minute to go in regular. Foul by Pavlotsky. You see there. Good to see the sportsmanship.
No harm, no foul. Well, there was a foul, but no harm.
No harm. It's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time. 2 minutes left to go in this match.
Oh, nice little move across.
Cleared away by Kalonji.
Limeno just keeps on running. That's a testament to Limeno's coaching.
Here's an opportunity.
Oh,
Taken down, and it'll be a corner That was a just spot-on last-second challenge by Grant Carr.
He had to get that right, but that's where you see that experience from Grant Carr. He's got a lot of professional experience, has experience playing in Germany.
Taken quickly. Into the box, headed away, still in control. Limeno work it to the far side, into the box, and it bounces through. Pavlotsky's going to be there. That one goes out. Throw for Limeno.
1 more minute.
We are
minimum.
Getting Limeno. They'll go back, lick their wounds, think about what they got right today, get ready for Georgia Athletic next week.
A lot right today, to be honest.
Deflected off of Cisse. Kalonji keep the train rolling on.
Can Limeno get a final goal on the day? 30 seconds left of the minimum.
And that's going to do it. We finish here at Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School. Kalonji Pro Profile 6, Limeno Georgia 3. Just a sensational match for both teams. A really entertaining match here on this Easter evening.
Yeah, I think I was very impressed with Limeno. They jumped on Kalonji early, and they kept the energy up the entire 90 minutes. And it's a good result for Kalonji Pro Profile, of course, because now they go directly back to first place with the game in hand and some important matches to come up. But Limeno should be very proud of themselves today. They ran and ran and ran. They were ahead twice in this game. But for Kalonji's relentlessness, could have really gotten something out of this game. But I think a lot they've learned here, and is a good little match for them to take with them going into the rush for a playoff spot for the rest of the season.
That will conclude Week 8. We look at the scores. You can see Georgia Athletic with that 2-1 win over Georgia Revolution. Albion, SC Atlanta going to Birmingham, getting the win 3-2. FC Columbus Elite winning the Columbus Derby over Fountain City FC 3-0. North Georgia United and Pachuca ending a 1-1 draw. Potros earlier this afternoon winning 3-1 at UMA. We had that 1-1 draw between SSL and Dalton United in this Kalonji Pro Profile 6, Limeno Georgia 3. We look at Week 9 next week, finishing up the month of April. Pachuca, Georgia at 6 o'clock taking on Kalonji Pro Profile. Dalton United as well at 6 taking on UMA. Georgia Revolution, FC Birmingham at 7, as well as Limeno Georgia, Georgia Athletic, and FC Columbus Elite and SSL. Next Sunday, only 2 matches, Potros FC and North Georgia United at 6, and Albion SC Atlanta and Fountain City FC at 7. That's going to do it for us here at Shiloh Stadium. For Andre Bomar, Krishna Bomar, I've been Larry Weaver. Special thanks to our sponsor, Images Frozen in Time, to bring you this coverage of UPSL Georgia Conference. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everything that we do if you want to pick up the podcasts and the interviews and all that we do during the week, as well as these live performances. Until next week, thank you for watching ASMG TV, and we'll see you next time right here on the pitch.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.